Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second day of Developer Days. Wow, there's a lot of you on the 9 o'clock today. So let's start with who am I? And my name is Tomasz Woldański. I'm TYPO3 developer at Macopedia and co-maintainer of X-Address extension for TYPO3. And today I was doing something different than previous my appearances of Developer Days, and I will not talk about the XLS extension, but our quest for ACL improvements in TYPO3 Core, and as well is an access control list. So let's start how come to be our improvements in the for permissions and ACL in the TYPO3 Core. And last year, TYPO3 Association started our initiative for budget ideas, and we thought in our team we can try it to contribute to the core. We can carve out some time for our developers to create some uh, nice contribution to the type of community. And we gather all our developers and started brainstorming some ideas to contribute in the type of three. So we shoot out a lot of ideas. We shot down, as you can see, a lot of ideas. And after some very serious debate, we settled on ACL. So why we settled on ACL? Because our company mostly working with type of 3 as a headless CMS with our extension. But from the backend perspective, it's the same thing as the CLI. We did want to start with, providing some improvements right away. We first wanted to, do some proper research to identify current state and possible approaches to tackle those issues. And we provide this nice document you can check out on the Type of 3 Association forum at talk.typo3.org. And in this research, we try to provide as much as possible because we cannot provide solution for 100% of cases. Because every client, every project is different, and type of 3 permissions are very flexible, and you can adjust for it. But we wanted to try your life easier for as much as cases as possible. And during the research, also we created a survey for community because we wanted to avoid tunnel vision, because we had some opinions, of course, what our issues are, etc. But we wanted to ask other developers in the community and integrators what they think about what are the issues with the permission from their side perspective, what feature requests are there. So we created a survey, and if anyone participated, thank you for that, because we also see community confirmed for us there is, for example, missing best practices, because we're out there, some blog posts, some parts in the documentation out there to how to best set up the permissions, but nothing, complete guide how to set up for example, so for newcomer. And also a community complained a little about the UX of the user experience of setting up the permissions. It's not that bad, but it's sometimes confusing and difficult to set up when you are not very big power user of type of 3. And I think the most requested feature and pain point is deployable permissions. Because as you probably know, type of 3 permissions are stored as user records and user groups in the database as a records. And when you have multiple environments, it's difficult to maintain, the same permissions, and we have to export the records from the database. It's cannot do version control it, so it's very difficult. And also, you can check out a lot of more information about this survey in the article Martin wrote on the typo3.org. So you can check out more insightful about what community said about its initiative and also our survey. As you can see, access management is important. And TYPO3 feature is very good, and I love about this in TYPO3 because TYPO3 is taking security seriously. But this is one excerpt from the survey. As you can see, setting up permission TYPO3 is not rocket science, but it's not that easy, and community confirms us that. So everyone in this room, I hope, have proper permission set up because, we are professionals, yes. Okay, this is fine, of course, for the, developers maintaining the site, but for editors, I think not. And for those accounts, I hope everyone has long, unique passwords and two-factor enabled, yes? I didn't hear you. Sorry. So let's start with permission best practices. And we created guidelines how to proceed, but these are only guidelines. It's not the perfect recipe for every project, because every project, as I said before, is different. Every client is different, but those guidelines are good enough for most projects, especially bigger ones. So what you should avoid is setting permission per user, because it will bite you in the end. So try to also use proper naming convention for user accounts. Of course, when you are doing project in the European Union, you have to keep in mind we have to be compliant with GDPR. So no admin accounts, everyone, please. So we use that one convention, and the best approach to is using the feature of user groups, but we are not setting up permissions on one user group. We have to create multiple user groups for each one of category. And what we mean by category, it's we should create one category for one of function of TYPO3. For example, we have category of system, which are the more abstract feature of TYPO3. For example, database mount, file mount, or I don't know, category mount, something like that. So we create each user group per feature. So for example, we create one group for database mount, another for file operation, language access, something like that. And second one is ACL. So we create group per, for example, content access to content elements. And we can split it up even more further if we need to. But we should try to set up permission as low as possible. So each one only necessary things. Yeah. And third one category is role. But role groups should not have any permission set on the settings. Only thing we should do is this special group is just use the inheritance feature of user groups. So we're combining system and ACL groups. I can show you right now. So role is only using the inheritance system. So we combining only system groups and ACL groups together. And you should, best practice is to keep it flat, because you can nest all the user groups in the infinite, because TYPO3, if I remember correctly, doesn't set the limit. But you should, for easy debugging and maintaining, just keep it flat as possible. So just role, you're setting up those groups. And this is what is look like in practice. As you can see, we have two roles. There's the ping one, so the R content editor and R survey manager. These are the roles we assign you to user. Only those groups, nothing more. And R content editor consists of groups below via inheritance feature. So for example, we have PH website group, the database website, etc., etc. And green ones are the record-based permissions. For example, access to the content elements, access to, for example, news, gallery, surveys, etc. That way, you can create a role group very efficiently in few clicks, because you have already created all the necessary things before that. So, for example, a client comes in, provides you new feature, you provide a new editor, you have to create new permissions, you just create new role, pick one, okay, you have to have access to this tree, to this content elements, to this section, that's it. 3 clicks, you have already created user new proper setup for the new role of your editor. And more complex one example, for example, in one instance we have 3 websites and we're doing the same way. And in many cases, when you set up properly those groups, you already have the stepping stone for many other roles, and you can, in most cases, you can share, I think, half of groups between the roles. And when, so for example, when you update one group and across the whole user groups and users, so it'll be faster, more efficient, less error prone. But one more thing is very important. You should naming properly, because naming is hard, we know all that. But in this approach is very, very important to create. You can use what we proposed, but you can create your own, it's up to you. But when you create your own, you should stick to it, because naming convention helps a lot of it, so we should be concise, as short as possible. And my tips, one tip is using the prefixes, something like that. So for example, for the role, we have R prefix. For the, for example, page group access, we have PG, database mount, DBM, file amount, etc. You can see, and so on. So at the glance, when you're setting up, for example, role, by the prefixes, you're already seeing which group are probably which is what. So you don't have to, you know, okay, what this group exactly do. You have to go to, by the name, you already know what this group is about. So this is very important, and I think it's very good for you. But you have to keep in mind, initial cost is high, because you have to, you know, on the start of the project, you have to create multiple groups. But in the end, you will be, you know, the cost will be lower for each role. The cost will be lower for you. And we created all the guidelines I said right now. So it's around in the official documentation with our help of documentation team, so we can check it out anytime. Please use it or not, but it's very nice to have finally a very nice guideline in the documentation. And also to tackle, make it a little bit more easier, we introduce in part of our effort a nice feature called default user groups. When right now, since version 13.1 is already released, you can, when you're installing fresh installation, you can tick the checkbox, create different backend groups during the installation. And what it does, it creates for you 2 predefined user group with set of permissions for basic editing. So it's okay, it's not for big project, but for simple project it's good enough. But keep in mind, I think core developers still said it's a little bit experimental, so permission sets can be adjusted for the LTS release in the fall, but you can use all right now if you want to. But also, for example, you already set up TYPO3, and we provide for you, and you want to, for example, quickly set up permissions for your editor. You have simple project, you just want to, you know, quickly create. You can use CLI anytime, so you can create those groups quickly. So it's not limited only during installation time. You can do it whenever you want. Okay, so this is wrap up our first part of our budget ideas, and during the year we won also second part of budget ideas, and we wanted to improve user experience even further. So I'm like this when I have to set up TYPO 3.10, like this guy, maybe you know him. So we try to alleviate some of those issues. So we started with little things. For example, more consistent naming and organization. What I mean about this is something like, for example, before, in version 12 and below, for example, we have access rights. Okay, one tab is good, but when, for example, you are not power user, you have very nice, very long list of big overview feature like modules and record-based with a lot of fields in a little bit confusing. So we split up those tabs into two. So right now you have in version 13 two tabs. One is for records-based permissions, and another is more, bigger pictures of module-based permissions. So it's easier, I think, to grasp, and especially for newcomers. And we combined the access backend user into one module, so we will have one place to manage users and permissions in TYPO3. And next, our set of improvements are about editing, and we are added very small feature, but I think it's quite handy, especially when you have, for example, a lot of fields. For example, when you have custom fields, excluded fields, you can filter out. It's not much, but when you start using it, okay, what we already have it since 5 years, for example. So it's very nice, and it's still, as you can see, probably will be 13.4, I hope, but it's not still matched because we are in process of accepting all our patches with the core developers. And next feature, I think UX cleanup, wherever I may say it, stable permissions is one of my favorite things, because on my left you have version 12 and below current implementation of setting access to the tables. As you can see, first you have read access, then our write access is very, for example, where you have big instance with a lot of custom elements and custom tables, etc. This list is very long. On the right side, you have new features already merged. Merge will be available in 13.3. You have very nice table permissions. I think it's more legible for everyone, clear. You don't have to scroll all the way, read, write, something like that. And another feature from our teammates, Krzysztof, which provides a nicer way to assigning users to the user groups. And this feature is look like this, something like that, because when you enter the user group, you have all the users at glance which are assigned to this user group. This is one feature. And also you can edit right there. For example, you can add new users, remove them, etc. And another nice feature, at first it was a little bit confusing, but after I started using, our teammates made it. It's very, I think, very useful. And what it does? For example, when you have exclude fields and you're using it because it's a very nice feature, because we have to sometimes, protect clients from themselves, so we hide some fields. But setting up those permissions are not very user-friendly right now. So we created something like preview feature. So it's speeding up much more. When you're setting up, you can click on the icon. I will show you in a minute in a live demo. So you can instantly check those fields. It saves you a lot of work, believe me. Sorry, so I will show you a small demo. Give me a minute. Okay. So, as I said, we have we have version 13. This is on, I think, main for the last week with our patches combined, because as said before, not all patches already matched, so I have to combine it myself. As you can see, I have no user groups, and we have one module user permissions. And as I said before, we can use this CLI anytime. For example, I write right now, and we have a nice creator for you. You can choose one editor, or two editors, or nothing, or both. For example, I choose both. I switch, refresh, and I've already created. You're ready to go. You're just assigning to the users. For example, I go to the advanced editor. As you can see, Another change, we have two tabs. It's more, I think it's more clear, so it's not that long, so you can have clear overview what is what. As you can see, this feature, for example, I have, this is a core development environment, and I also have installed the still guide, I think, extension. As you can see, a lot of elements, but it's, you can imagine that you have a big project the same way. So as you can see, for example, in version 12, we have this list, one thing, and another with writing, and then right now we are in the extension. So it's much better. I think it's more readable. Yeah, you can check it. I think it's very nice if, for everyone. And as you can see, we can search, for example, category. So okay, sorry, I had drop-down collapsed. So I can see I filtered all the categories. And for example, I can click on this and have the preview of the form. Because on version 12, when you want to properly set up allowed fields, for example, we have to, okay, so we have to do something like that. Okay, I find it, okay, of course, without this, so we have a lot of fields. I have to find something, for example, this. I have to save, go out, find the user I want to check, go in, log as in, find the form in the backend, and check if my settings are correct. Right now, you can just preview it if you want. For example, I have not set up permission correctly, so fail forms. Of course, by this form, you cannot edit any data. It's just, you know, setting the form renderer. So only you can see if the user will be seeing the field. That's it. And okay, we have this. Okay. So I think these are nice improvements. Okay, it's not great breaking changes, something like that, you know, earth-shattering features, but I think you'll be better with them than without them. So it's very nice improvements. And back to my presentation. And what's next? Because with those patches are already provided for the core mergers to review and merge, I hope. So if any core merger are attending, please merge if you can. So what's next? Because we are not stopping there. And next feature for you guys, we try to create extension presets. So maybe I'll show you a quick mock-up I made during the slides. Don't hold me back because it's not consultant, it's not feature complete, something like that. It's just a quick mock-up in the browser during the creation of my slides. So whole idea is that we try to integrate in the core feature every core extension or third-party extension or your custom extension will be able to provide predefined sets of permission so we can apply quickly into the user group. Yeah, so we scan all the installed packages and grab the permission defined. And for example, you create a new user group and just click extension and all the presets will be applied. And you can check, you can customize even further. So, okay, for example, I don't know, news extension provides for basic editor, but you have some custom setup of the X-News and want to disable some features, so you just apply the presets, customize it, save it, okay, that's done. So this feature will be working after the conference. I will be working on that. So stay tuned, and I hope I will finish it as soon as possible so we can merge before the feature freeze. So we'll be available, I hope we will be available to you with the LTS in the fall. But we still not stopping because we are trying to provide even more features and improvement to the core. because we want to tackle, as I mentioned, most requested feature. So it's deployable permissions, and those features I talked about before, for the last few slides, the extension presets are, I think, a stepping stone to this feature, because those extension presets will be, I think, nice foundation for it. We can make it. We try to create deployable permissions, but I can't promise you that we finish before the version 13. So most probably will be in version 14, unfortunately. But we want to make it right, do it properly, so we can have very nice features in the TYPO3 community. And so let's quick recap of our efforts. And we improve documentation for you, so you can, set up better permissions for your projects and better security, etc. And as you can see, so in my small demo and screenshots, improve user experience. I hope you will like it as well as we are liking it. So yeah, and I think, in my opinion and my team, I think it's faster setup for you. It's okay. I didn't, because all the features are not merged already, so I didn't test it, how much is faster than, for example, version 12, how to set up this way and old way. But I think, in my opinion, it's much, much faster. And I think it's more important than being faster. It's less error prone, because you can check it, or you don't have to double check it, because you have, for example, preview feature. Or you can assign user directly from the core. So thank you for listening and coming to my talk on the 9 o'clock today. So thank you very much. And do you have any questions? Sorry? Okay. Okay.
Thank you. You mentioned the extension presets. Will there be the possibility to add multiple presets per extension? Yeah. Yeah, it would be very helpful, for example, in side package.
Sorry, I forgot. So I think the multiple presets are, I think, a must-have, because many extensions are asking for it, if I'm honest, and I think it's no problem to provide multiple, and it's no-brainer for me.
So thank you for the talk. It was really nice. There are some awesome features, I think, for most of us developers and integrators. Regarding the preview feature, the new one, does it take inheritance into account when I click the preview button? Okay.
If I remember correctly, probably yes, but I have to double check it, because this feature was made by my colleague, so I have to double check it. So I'll let you after the talk. So thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
Hi, thank you for the talk. My question is with regard to the new backend module you created. How do you define the access of users to certain pages, as it was possible before through the access module?
Access module is still there. I can show you. We just move it. We combined the. Okay, from the sidebar, you have one access and permissions module. And you have switcher with page permissions, and voila, there is we did not remove any feature. We just combine, so we can have this. Of course, this also under the review, so maybe change. So keep it in mind. So yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Can you pass the mic?
Thank you. There was an extension called BE ACL. I think it was developed by P2 Media, and there you had the feature to also give user groups recursive access to websites in the page tree. But this is not compatible with version 11 and up. It's only compatible with version 10. So it would be nice if this BE_ACL would be integrated into the core. Or just maintain it to would be compatible with 12 and 13.
Thank you. I think we can check it out to try to address it and even further, because we are now focused on finishing this set of features we proposed. And I think the most asking issue feature requests the deployable permissions. This is our focus for that for now. But if we have ideas and our core merger allowed us, probably we'll tackle this as well. So, yeah. Yes, this was also in the survey, yes. Only one group you can access to the page access. We didn't tackle right now this, but this, I think after the deployment feature, I think it will be also useful to tackle this problem. So we will not finish for the version 13, but with version 14, we can try to improve this as well as the playable permission. So a nice feature request. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so thank you guys again for the coming and for your votes, and I hope you enjoy this nice feature in the fall with TYPO3 LTS release. So thank you very much. Good night.